much for smooshing, Community Affairs Director.
Okay, if everyone would please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. Pursuant to Section 5, Chapter 231, Public Laws of 1975, this is to state for the record that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided to the public by posting and maintaining the annual notice of the regular meetings on the bulletin board in the municipal building, and by providing a copy of the annual notice of the regular meetings for the year 2015 to the Glen Ridge paper, the Glen Ridge Voice, the Montclair Times, and the Star Ledger. And this was done on January 7, 2015. And by filing said notice in the office of the municipal clerk. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilperson Patrick?
Here.
Councilperson Lozovich is absent. Councilperson Lefkowitz?
Here.
Dawson? Here. Murphy? Here. Morrow?
Here.
Mayor Hughes is present. So Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Michael. Could I get a motion, please, to approve the minutes of our last meeting, February 23rd?
So moved.
Okay, David, thank you. Stuart, thank you for seconding. Any comments? Council? No? No changes? Seeing none, will the clerk call a roll?
Councilperson Patrick?
Aye.
Lefkowitz?
Aye.
Dawson? Aye. Murphy? Aye. Morrow?
Aye.
5 ayes, no nays. The motion is carried.
Great. Any written communications?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Received a letter from the Office of the County Executive announcing that Essex County has approved a grant award from the Governor's Council on Alcohol and Drug Use to the borough in the amount of $38,850.
Great.
Received a proposal from the Township of Bloomfield for animal control services, and received a resolution from the Borough of Caldwell in support for towns impacted by the Hillsborough pipeline. And then finally, a letter from Clean Ocean Action thanking us for our participation in this week.
On the animal control,
yes.
Which committee would handle?
The animal control is actually from the Health Board of Health, which recommends a board and a contract, and they dropped about $500. They had $500 increase from last year. And public safety, we know to speak to the chief that they haven't had any problems with Bloomfield and actually had improved service.
Animal control from Bloomfield, service quality's been good.
It's been excellent. In fact, we followed up with them yesterday regarding that dog-on-dog attack in late 2014, and they were on top of everything. We've been able to close out the case. It's been very good.
Okay. Because council, I mean, in the last couple of years, we've had some problems coming up with good service on the animal control. And Bloomfield, we switched to them, what, 3 years ago? And it's, I think that was a good move. We made that.
Agreed. It's very similar to the health contract. We had added services as part of the Bloomfield contract at a reduced price.
All right, so the Board of Health recommends we continue with it at a reduced price. Great. Okay, that's good news. Okay.
Do you need a resolution to do that, or it's in the consent agenda?
It's in the consent agenda. Comments of the public. Anyone from the public like to step up and be recognized? Jackie, any greetings from the county today?
Now I have my own
Oh, great.
thing to say. I just really want to compliment Public Works.
Thank you.
You've done an extraordinary job. I drive all over the county, and Glen Ridge stands out. Just going from Ridgewood Avenue to Thomas Boulevard is a whole other world.
Yeah.
And I was in Virginia during the ice storm, and compared to Virginia, all of Essex County is perfect. So my compliments to all the people that worked on Public Works, because the streets in Glen Ridge were really fine, and it has been an extraordinarily terrible winter.
It's been certainly a tough
I
February.
keep hoping. The other thing, I know that salt is getting really low all over.
Okay.
Is Glen Ridge okay?
We just got 75 tons right before this last storm.
That was
we got
smart.
a full tank of line, so we're in good shape. Yeah, Bill's on top of that.
You know, it's funny, I listened to the radio and they had the commissioner for New York City talking about salt before the last storm, and they said they had something like 125,000 tons of salt, and they thought they were pretty good for that storm. So we have 75 tons.
Yeah, it's all relative.
It's
Talk
all
about the gallons of
Yeah,
wrong.
but I think we're okay. Does the county have any, is the county in good shape,
The
salt-wise?
county has enough for the county, and
Okay.
the last I heard, and it could have changed, but the last I heard, if the communities needed salt, they were rationing it.
Okay.
So-
Mike,
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, Jackie, deserves credit. She helped us out several times when we ran short and the county was able to stock up our trucks.
thank you.
There's-
Thank you,
Give it to
Jerry.
me.
Yeah.
And Mike is always on top of it, too.
Yeah. You know, I would echo your thoughts on our Public Works Department. Really, under very difficult circumstances, these guys have been putting in an awful lot of hours, and really our streets are kept in remarkably good shape despite some really tough storms that we've had. You know, there are things that I know our residents find annoying. You know, the plows come by, and we try to plow curb to curb, which means that they do it in echelon at times where they have two plows, and you know, it picks up a load of snow and it gets pushed to the side, and if your driveway's in the way, it's gonna get snow in the driveway. There's really no other way to do it. And so what we tell people who, and I share the frustration, we all do. You know, you go out there, you shovel it out, and then here comes the plow. Well, the best thing to do would be to wait until we've done plowing for the storm. Now, that's not always practicable. People have to get out and go places. Some things you can do, you can throw the snow to the right, so you're not putting a big pile of snow to the left. It's just going to come right back into where you're going. The other thing you can do is, do we have it yet, Mike, our website where you can track by GPS where the plows are?
We're on Facebook.
We have it on Facebook, so if you want to check, you can find out where our plows are. They have GPS signaling, so that you can know. But at the end of the day, please understand that we're not trying to be bad guys. We're trying to do our jobs. It's more important that when you get out on the street, that the street is in good shape and plowed well. And the only way for that to happen is for us to plow it. So you're just going to, we understand the frustrations, particularly when we've had so many storms back after back after back after back. But I think our guys are doing an excellent job, and we're very proud of them.
I noticed that the police department is not ticketing people for sidewalks after the plow comes through. Because I remember many years ago, I had shoveled my sidewalk and then the snowplow just plowed all back on the sidewalk for some reason or other, and I got a ticket.
Oh,
Along with a number of other people, and a whole bunch of irate citizens showed up.
yeah.
But that hasn't happened this winter,
Well-
and we appreciate that too.
Just to reiterate for the public, the requirement is to make a substantial effort to clean the sidewalks within 24 hours after the end of a snow event. And the other thing that we'd like to get out there is that if you live on a corner, you are responsible for shoveling a pathway to the corner. So it's not enough to just make a 90-degree turn and leave a nice, hump that people would have to cross over if they wanted to cross the street. You need to shovel a pathway, and if you live on a corner that has, roads, you're going to have to either clear it wide enough or do two pathways. So that's something that we will be really publicizing for next winter, because hopefully we're done with snow for this year. I will report. Mike advised us today that we are over budget on our snow removal. Not surprisingly, we put 70,000, I think, in for this year. We're above that already. Don't worry. If we have another snow event, we certainly will plow, unlike some of our neighbors, and we have reserves that we can tap into if we have to. Okay. I see some other members of the public came in. This is the point. If you have something you'd like to say, please come on up and say something. We're gonna watch. Okay. Jean, would you like to? Are you watching, or you have something you'd like to say, or?
I'll watch it. I can call up later.
Okay.
Thanks.
Very good. Okay. Councilman Patrick.
Yes, Mayor. The Finance Administration Committee has no formal report tonight, but I do have a consent agenda and an ordinance.
Okay.
I have a consent agenda which incorporates resolutions 47-15 through 55-15. The following items are considered to be routine and will be acted upon with a single motion. If any discussion is requested on a consent agenda item, it will be removed from the consent agenda to the regular agenda. All consent agenda items will be reflected in full in the minutes. I would also like to just point out that in this consent agenda, we have resolution number 52-15, which appoints Jason Boulay as a Deputy Emergency Management Coordinator for 3 years, and I see he's here tonight. Congratulations.
Jason, raise your hand. Thank you. Congratulations.
I move the consent agenda.
You've heard the resolution. David,
I'll
may I get a
second the motion.
Thank you. Comment, anyone? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilperson Patrick?
Aye.
Lefkowitz?
Aye.
Dawson? Aye. Murphy? Aye. Morrow?
Aye.
5 ayes, no nays. The consent agenda is approved.
Mr. Mayor, I have ordinance number 1625. This is an ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank.
Mr. Mayor, this is state for the record that this ordinance has been properly posted and advertised in accordance with the state statute.
Okay, and I declare the meeting open for a discussion of this ordinance and only this ordinance, this being the time and place for public hearing. This is pretty much just a standard practice that we need to put into place. A cap bank is something that allows us to accumulate, in effect, underspending. So we're below our cap, and we can continue. It's something that we don't want to lose by not acting on it. So it's sort of a placeholder, but it's something that we have to do by ordinance. Okay, so if there's anyone who would like to speak to this, seeing none, I declare the hearing closed.
Mr. Mayor, I move that this ordinance be finally passed.
Okay, David, can I get a second?
I second that motion.
Okay, so we've heard the motion by Councilman Patrick, seconded by Councilman Lefkowitz. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilperson Patrick?
Aye.
Lefkowitz?
Aye.
Dawson? Aye. Murphy? Aye. Morrow?
Aye.
5 ayes, no nays. The ordinance is passed on second reading.
Great,
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to conclude my remarks this evening.
thank you. Do we have a report for Paul Osowitz, Public Safety?
No, sir.
Okay. There was a meeting last week.
The meeting was last week, on the first Monday of the month.
Right.
We met for public safety and quite a few things on the agenda, some of which are ongoing and some of which we handled within the committee.
Okay, if he has a report, we can ask him to give it at the next council meeting. Okay. David?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I have no report this evening.
Thank you. Councilman Dawson?
Mr. Mayor, I have ordinance number 1626, which is an ordinance to appropriate grants funds for various capital projects for final reading.
Mr. Mayor, this is state for the record that this ordinance has been properly advertised and posted in accordance with the state statute.
And I declare the meeting open for a discussion of this ordinance, and only this ordinance, this being the time and place for public hearing. This is the second of two ordinances that deals with the rehabilitation and paving of Essex Avenue, which is a joint project between Glen Ridge and Bloomfield. And this is the point where we are allocating the funds. Okay?
And this is a joint project between ourselves and Bloomfield.
Yeah.
And we also have grant money.
Yeah.
So the street definitely needs some improvements and it's going to get them.
Great. Okay, anyone from the public? I declare the hearing closed.
Mr. Mayor, I move that this ordinance be finally passed.
Okay. You've heard the motion. Can I get a second, please? I'll second it. Thank you, Dan. You've heard the motion by Councilman Dawson, seconded by Councilman Murphy. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilperson Patrick?
Aye.
Lefkowitz?
Aye.
Dawson?
Aye.
Murphy? Aye. Morrow?
Aye.
5 ayes, no nays. The ordinance is passed on second reading.
Okay. Art?
I'd also just like to speak for a minute on the efforts of the Public Works Group on the snow shape there. We have salt on hand, we have brine on hand, so we're ready for any eventuality there. They've also been going around making sure that the catch basins are free of ice and stuff, so that we don't get any floods when the snow starts melting. So they're in good shape there, and they'll be ready to start doing things on field maintenance, and when that's appropriate to do. So we're in good shape there. We also are taking care of the public spaces around the train station, stuff like that, with salt and ice, the ice removal, and get that stuff out of the way around the school pathways. So they've been doing a great job. They were in overnight on Sunday night again, and stayed at the town yard. So they're giving it all.
Yep.
For all.
Yep.
So that's the only other thing I wanted to mention.
Mike, I think that the town has been spreading salt on some of the school board property, right?
That's correct.
We're working on sort of a joint venture, if you will, or an interlocal with the school board. The town already has the equipment. We're out on the roads. So we go out and we'll spread salt at the schools, and particularly in their parking lots. Right? In return, they're allowing us to remove snow from various parts in the town. We have no place to put it, so we're putting it in one of the playgrounds. So it's a nice, friendly cooperation between the Board of Ed and the town.
We work together pretty well.
Okay, thank you, Art. Okay, Councilman Murphy.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. No formal report due to the weather. Our fields are covered with snow, and South Washington field worked there, some salt, and it will absolutely push back up. Not really sure how long. And I do know that they're working on ways to find time, but we'll see how that goes in the coming weeks as the snow melts and the field actually dries out.
Yep.
Regarding the pool house, we're in good shape there. That's the good news. Those are bad. So the pool house is coming along. It will be completed within the time, so that we'll have a smooth opening of the pool on Memorial Day.
That should help.
Is it Memorial Day or weekend?
Well, that's the,
Weekend.
yeah. That should help membership applications, getting that done, and it'll improve the look of that facility.
Absolutely. However, we've been a lot fortunate the last 3 years. My membership has exceeded our expectations.
I know, no, it's been a great asset to the town.
Mr. Mayor, that concludes my report.
Councilwoman
Yes, I have just a brief update on the Mountainside redevelopment plans. The consultant inspected the facility today. Mr. Rohal was there as well. The town expects the consultant to have its report completed by mid-April. Essentially, the scope of that report will be to determine if the site meets the statutory requirement for an area in need of redevelopment. That report will be made available on the borough website, and it's anticipated that after that there will be public hearings in May. Those will be advertised, and the consultant will be essentially reviewing the report for the members of the community. So there will be announcement of those hearings, and again, that will probably be sometime in May.
I think it's it. Okay. All right, thank you. Comments to the administrator?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just one item that we'll be introducing the budget at the next meeting on March 23rd.
Okay.
And hopefully we'll be adopting April 27th. At which time we'll have.
What would hold us up from adopting on April?
Okay, we have to wait for the Department of Division of Local Government Services to approve the budget.
Right.
They're down on the number of examiners this year, and we have, it's like past 2 years, we had not trouble, but we were delayed due to the fact that they couldn't review in time. So we'll submit it on the 24th, but until we receive the approval of the state, we can't formally adopt it. However, regardless, we'll have a public hearing on April 27th.
Right. Right. It'll be a riveting meeting. I encourage everyone to come to our budget meeting on April 27th.
Okay, that concludes my report, Mr. Mayor.
John, have no report. No report. Chief?
I just wanted to thank the council for their consideration of Jason's appointment as a deputy emergency management coordinator. His years of volunteerism, not only at the ambulance squad, now at the police department, and of course on behalf of the borough. It's nice to see it recognized. He's been helping us behind the scenes and in front of the scenes with emergency management for many years now. So thank you for the appointment.
Again, welcome aboard. Glad to have you. Okay. Any new or unfinished business?
No, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Anyone from the public? Any final words? Anything you'd like to add? We're going good. We're all good. Okay. David, do you have a motion for me?
No, but I do.
Oh, Mr. Murphy does. Okay.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I move to adjourn tonight's council.
Okay, may I get a second?
I second that motion.
Very good. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you for coming. The meeting's adjourned.